Born in Omaha, Nebraska, young Warren was not your ordinary child. From a tender age, he was an outlier, a unique entity of his own. Unlike his peers who found joy in playground games and comic books, Warren was drawn irresistibly towards a different sphere. It was the captivating world of business that intrigued him, that lured him into its complex yet fascinating depths. He was not a mere observer, but an active participant enthusiastically plunging into this domain. The playgrounds he loved were not filled with swings and slides, but with numbers and calculations. He would often be found musing on ventures, lost deep within the intricate maze of his thoughts. These were ventures that his contemporaries would find challenging to fathom, appearing as perplexing puzzles that only Warren could decipher. His comprehension of such matters was beyond his tender age, hinting at a unique aptitude and an exceptional understanding of the business world. Warren's interest was not limited to contemplation and theoretical understanding alone. With an unquenchable thirst for practical experience, he quickly transformed from an enthusiastic observer to an active player. An illustration of this was when he plunged into the stock market at the tender age of 11. This child's play. It was a well-thought-out move, underlining his prodigious acumen and his fearless foray into a realm typically reserved for adults. His relationship with numbers became even more formalized when he filed his first tax return at the mere age of 14. This act was a testament to his growing financial intellect and a remarkable indication of his formidable potential. He was not your average teenager. He was a visionary in the making, a prodigy carving his path in the world of business. He bought stocks at the tender age of 11 and filed his first tax return at 14. However, the pivotal moment in his life arrived when he was just 20. Born into a typical middle-class family, his dreams had always been bigger than his circumstances. He was an overachiever, a go-getter, driven by an intense yearning for success that he felt from an early age. Fresh out of one of the most prestigious colleges in the country, he found himself standing on the edge of a world teeming with endless possibilities. The world was his oyster indeed. An exciting, vast oyster, filled to the brim with opportunities of all kinds. He could have settled for a steady, comfortable job, a stable life that many of his peers were content with, a path that had been tread by countless individuals before him. But that wasn't Warren. Warren was different. He wasn't just seeking any opportunity. He was not interested in the mundane, the ordinary, or the easy. What he wanted was a challenge, something that would push him, test him, and ultimately make him grow. He wanted something that would not give him financial success, but also personal satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment. He was after a specific kind of opportunity, one that wasn't just a quick way to get rich, but one that would offer him long-lasting satisfaction and success. A path less traveled, an opportunity that demanded resilience, hard work, and a steadfast commitment to his vision, one that promised long-term success. It was then that he came across the concept that would shape his investment philosophy, the idea of intrinsic value. The brilliant spark of understanding that ignited within him was as sudden as it was profound. It was as if a door had swung open, revealing a labyrinth of endless possibilities. The concept of intrinsic value was not immediately easy to grasp or understand. It flew in the face of traditional investment wisdom that suggests the worth of a business is solely based on its assets and market value. Instead, this new poetic approach suggested something far more nuanced and complex, that a business, like a masterpiece painting or a finely aged wine, is worth significantly more than the sum of its parts. This radical idea that there were hidden values within a company that were not immediately visible on the balance sheet. It could be the value of the brand, the collective expertise of the team, the strength of its customer relationships, or even the potential of its future innovations. These intangible factors, which were often overlooked by conventional investors, were as real and as valuable as the company's physical assets. In of this revelation, he began to look at businesses in a completely new way. He saw them not as static entities that could be stripped down and sold for parts, but as dynamic organisms with the potential for great growth and evolution. This perspective shift allowed him to see opportunities where others saw only risks, and enabled him to make investments that others considered foolish or naive. This concept became the cornerstone of his investment strategy, leading him to amass a fortune of over $100 billion. Over time, his understanding of intrinsic value has evolved and deepened, but its core principle remains the same. A business is far more than the sum of its parts. It is a living, breathing entity with a unique identity and potential. And it was this understanding that was the key to his immense wealth. So what exactly is intrinsic value? It's a fundamental concept embedded deeply in the world of finance and investment. Now let's picture a company. Not just any company, but a company that is a veritable machine, a contraption designed specifically for the production of money. This isn't a factory widgets or a shop selling goods. This is an established enterprise designed to churn out cash, much like a machine prints out bills. Now imagine this machine, unyielding and tireless, generating money day after day, year after year, decade after decade. The intrinsic value of this company, this money-making machine, is the sum total of all the money it can create over the span of its existence. It's a concept that goes beyond the current market value, beyond the transient ups and downs of stock prices. Warren, with his insightful acumen, was able to comprehend this. He broke free from the shackles of short-lived market fluctuations, shifting his focus instead towards something far more significant, the long-term earning potential of a company. He an understanding, a realization that went beyond the superficial. His vision cut through the noise of the stock market, seeing it not as a gambling table for speculating on stocks, but as a powerful tool, a means to acquire businesses. He understood that the stock market is a tool for buying businesses, not betting on stocks. This understanding transformed Warren from a hopeful young man into the investor that everyone recognizes today. It wasn't simply the shift from hopeful to successful that defined his journey, but rather his unique approach to understanding the complex world of investment. Warren was not born with a silver spoon. He didn't have a head start in the world of finance. Instead, he was armed with an innate analytical ability. This ability became the driver of his success, guiding him through the tumultuous terrain of the stock market, navigating him towards financial prosperity. He did not become an overnight sensation. His rise to the top was slow and steady. Just like the companies he chose to invest in, his ability to identify the intrinsic value of a company was unlike any other. He didn't merely see numbers on a balance sheet, he saw potential. He looked beyond the spreadsheets and profit margins. He saw the people behind the corporations, the creativity fueling their innovation, the determination driving their growth. To Warren, each company was more than a potential investment. It was a story waiting to be read, a puzzle waiting to be solved. And he, with his keen sense of analysis, would decipher that story, solve that puzzle. This perspective, to see beyond the immediate, was not an inborn trait. It was a skill honed over years of experience, a skill that required patience, as the real value of an investment is often hidden beneath layers of financial jargon and market trends. Warren's approach to investment was both an art and a science. While his analytical skills provided the scientific basis, his ability to interpret the underlying narrative behind a company gave investing an artistic touch. This is what set him apart and transformed him into one of the most successful investors in the world. Warren's insights are not just relevant to aspiring billionaires. They can be applied by anyone looking to make smarter financial decisions. Whether you're saving for retirement, planning on buying a house, or starting a business, understanding the intrinsic value of your investments can make a world of difference. Remember, investing is not about getting rich quick. It's about understanding value and making informed decisions. As Warren puts it, price is what you pay, value is what you get. So, the next time you're faced with a financial decision, think about Warren Buffett. Remember his lessons. Look beyond the immediate, understand the value, and make decisions that will benefit you in the long run. Because in the end, the rearview mirror might be clearer, but it's the road ahead that really counts.